Hey, well, this is Akias with another live word of the day. God bless, God bless. Check out this latest news clip.
You here at 4 o'clock today, there's a major step forward in the criminal justice efforts in Pennsylvania. Governor Josh.Shapiro signed 3 new laws today. The biggest of those involves probation changes. It's an effort that got some superstar support from Philadelphia's own Meek Mill. Action News race and culture reporter Taronda Thomas joining us live now outside the National Constitution Center with a look at the legislation being called groundbreaking today. Taronda.
It really is, Brian. Fittingly, these 3 new laws were signed here at the National Constitution Center, offering, in essence, a new level of freedom for so many people who are involved in the criminal justice center. Now, the probation reform law took 5 years to be in the works, and 2 people who joined forces to make it happen, a governor and a hip hop star. Governor Josh.Shapiro stood shoulder to shoulder with Meek Mill just about an hour ago as Shapiro signed 3 pieces of legislation. All of them are aimed at criminal justice reform, with one of them focusing on reform of the probation system. It changes the system in 2 ways. First, by aiming to shorten probation terms in the Commonwealth. That is key because there are more than 100,000 people on probation in Pennsylvania right now. The rate of recidivism,
Just simple civil
58%,
rights.
due in part, Shapiro says, to the fact that probation terms include punishment for technical and non-criminal violations. It's a personal story for Meek Mill, first put on probation when he was a kid. He was sent back and forth to jail for violating probation terms for something as simple as popping a wheelie on a motorcycle. That got the North Philadelphia native a 2 to 4 year sentence. In recent years, he's focused on helping create criminal justice reform. For him, finally seeing the probation reform law get signed today was overwhelming.
I'm at a point in my life, like, we all grew up in the streets and we try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time to gain my respect and be who I am today, and I'm proud of that.
So when Meek got out, we all talked together
Governor
about how we
Shapiro
could learn from Meek's
Philadelphia.
experience and how we could help others. We didn't want Meek to be the final verse of the song. We wanted him to be the opening.
And the song is just getting started because 2 other pieces of legislation were signed today, too. One of them is the Clean Slate Law. It seals the records for some nonviolent offenses. The other is the Dignity Law. It provides for the needs of women, including pregnant women who are in prison. Now, the probation reform law got bipartisan support, overwhelming bipartisan support. And another group called the Reform Alliance, they're a national group. They also work to push this forward really across the country. Now, Meek Mill helped to bring attention to this issue, but he and lawmakers are clear it's not just about him. It's about people across the Commonwealth who are affected by the probation system, who now have a new chance to start new lives because of these 3 new laws. We are live at the National Constitution Center. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News. Brian and Sarah.
A fresh start for so many men and women. Thank you.
Yes, my sister and brethren out there. Those who don't know what probation is, those who are listening across the globe to me, probation is simply when you, a person that been charged for maybe a violation. So instead of putting you in prison, you're allowed to walk the community. And you're allowed to walk the community, but when you, let's say for example now, like what happened to Meek Mill, the rapper Meek Mill, he popped a wheelie. He was put on probation as a child, as a young man, not a child, as a young man. And instead of sending him to prison as a young man, they put him on probation for a violation. They put him on probation. So you're allowed to walk the streets freely. But the day you commit a violation, like how we just popped a wheelie with a motorcycle, you had a four-wheel motorcycle and you popped a wheel in the street, maybe causing noise. Now you're being faced with prison time. And he was sent to prison over that. And it's an unjust system that needs to be corrected, especially for black people and Latinos. Black and Latino people, and needs to be corrected. Now, all Meek Mill was fighting for was simple civil rights. Okay, you put on probation, but now you're getting locked up for violations. Simple violations like they're so-called violations. Simple thing that you do, like people do. You know, sometimes you're playing music loud. You're you 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 maybe talking too loud on the street, or simple stuff, simple things, or jaywalking. You're walking slow, and simple charges they put on you, trumped up charges they put on you, and it leads to your arrest, so you can face prison time. And a lot, as you can hear the numbers for the newscaster, many people have been put on probation. Hundreds of people have been put on probation in Philly. But this is across, not only just in Philly, this is across the country. And laws in Philly and other cities too, is finally being passed to give people on probation a second chance of life. Because simple things like you're driving and maybe you're speeding a little bit too much, you can get locked up and arrested because you're on probation. Get locked up and arrested and put in prison because you're driving a little bit too fast. Or you have a busted headlight. All of a sudden now you're getting locked up and put in prison for a busted headlight. Simple things like that. And there's a system that is driven to keep us down. I'm talking about black people in minority groups. Keep us down and keep you in a system that's an unjust system. And Meek Mill, with the help of the probation group and the help of Governor of Philadelphia, Shapiro, finally got justice done. Finally. There was but it's simple civil rights that should have been automatically given to him. Automatically given to him. You shouldn't have to fight just for civil rights. Simple right, just the right to live. Just the right to just be like anybody else. And give an opportunity like everybody else. But when you're on probation, at the time when you was on probation, it's simple things. You get locked up. You get locked up because because you so-called violated something, or you driving too fast and now you're getting pulled over, now you're getting locked up now because you're on probation. Simple things like that. So the live word of the day is coming out of Psalms 33 verses 5. The word is full of unfailing love. That's right. That's right. Unfailing love meaning that this world shows no mercy. This world is cruel. This world we're living in a dog-eat-dog world that because you look a certain way, they lock you up. Because you look a certain way, there's no justice being given to you. Different strokes for different folks. No justice for you. But only some folks get justice, but you don't get no justice because of the way how you look. We're living in an unjust world. We're living in a wicked and evil world and an unjust world. And that's why we need Jesus. Jesus to come rescue us. Jesus to give us hope. Well, that's the live word of the day. Psalm 33 verses 5. The word is full of unfailing love. And I thank you for tuning in. Those who are listening to me across the globe, I thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I thank you so much. If you come in here for the first time, please remember to smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel, Zacchaeus Gospel. I got more coming for you. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings.